Hey guys, Ep2mu5Pr1m3d-86 here again for another custom corner capsule. And today we are going to show you how to seal in the paint. So if you're like me, you like doing custom, you like painting your figures, but you're a little bit lazy, you don't, or you don't feel skilled enough that you don't want to sand the paint that's already on and then prime it and then paint over it. You just want to go ahead and, take that figure, apply your paint, be done, and call it a day. So with paint, usually paint over paint won't stick very well. And then what that happens cause to cause is after the fact, when you touch the figure or play with it or even transform it, you get paint rub and missing patches eventually. So in order to prevent that, you need to do what we call sealing your paint, which is basically applying a coat of sealant or varnish basically over your work after you're done. So here what I'm doing is there's a part of the robot that has already been sealed, so the legs over here. I had already done the lower legs, but I've decided on a darker, less flashy color after all for the legs, and now I'm just redoing the coating over it. So what I'm doing is simply taking a paintbrush, dipping it into my varnish, giving it a good, you can see like, it leaves varnish up on top, and then just spread it. You don't want too much in one place. It's just you use it to spread to the surface as much as possible. And obviously you want to spread it so that it covers 100% of the surface. You don't want to be missing patches or anything. You got to be careful around the joints, like for example over here, because you don't want to leave big residue because it's going to get them to stick. A small thin layer is easy to break and you can still, rotate your joint, but if you put too much, it acts pretty much like a glue. So you got to be careful with that. Yuck. I hate having it on my fingers. Okay. And I'm just going to reapply because there's still a bunch here still. There we go. Spread this. Yeah, because what it also causes, if you leave too much pooling in one area, when it dries, it creates like almost like a pinkish goo, and then you can clearly see that sitting on top of your paint, and it's not good. But yeah, and you just keep spreading until the entirety of the surface, oops, sorry, wrong bottle, has been covered. I'm gonna bring the foot back. So I'm gonna go and do the entire leg here. I'm doing the toes. Again, making sure that I'm not leaving big residues, and that's why I have also paper on my table underneath, because what I tend to do is just brush it off with my brush and send it over on the paper because it's really just accident. There we go. It really pooled between the toes. I don't know what's with that, but we'll fix it. So there we go. Let's spread what's here on top of the feet. And sometimes your paint will bleed into your varnish. Like you will see like your varnish dripping and it will be kind of like colored like your paint. And that's fine. It's not really taking the paint away. It's just the essence of it that's kind of like being diluted a little bit, but not enough to cause, your paint to just literally peel away. So let's give it a good coating. And again, in the joint section, you want to be sure that no accumulation stays there. Or in the corners where it could pool. Crevices. And the good thing about the varnish versus the paint is because it goes everywhere. Even if you know, go over on another section, like, go outside the lines is the term I was going to searching for. Um, it doesn't matter because it goes everywhere. So there is no right or wrong. You just don't want too much in the same place. Come on. Like, see here, it's pooling in those sections, so I got to make sure that I dig that out. Perfect. Let's see, where else do we have? The top, the outside, and then this side here. And then, yeah, you're going to want to do this with every piece, basically one by one, and then let them dry completely. Sometimes if you see that it's not even, because I've noticed that with certain paint, it's going to tend to do like patches instead of a full cover. So you just basically reapply until you get a nice even coat. Sometimes you might have to do 2 or 3 coatings. Just make sure that you don't leave too thick of a coating, because you don't want it to impair your figure from, bending, moving, or transforming. But there we go. Taking the accent off. And there we are, pretty much. Give me one sec. Yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so. But I mean, when you're doing customs, it's not a bad thing to have the quality. There we go. Make sure we don't lose any of the detailing to varnish. That's not good. And pulling in. So yeah, so that's why I'm saying the process can sometimes be a bit tedious, because you have to go over and over and make sure that whatever's pooling places isn't anymore. Taking off all the excedent, revealing all the details. Oh yes, the part behind the knee. One second. There we go. Gotta seal this up too. See, there's a bunch here in the hole where my pin for rotation is, so I don't want that. There we go. Clear that. Same thing here. Details. Because even though it's transparent, like I was saying, if there's too much, when it pools, it's gonna show. So it's just good to make sure that, yes, there's a coating, but that there's not too much. Too much is like not enough in this case. And there we have it, folks. So the entire leg has now been coated. So I'm going to do the other one off camera once I'm done with this segment, and just finish the entire thing, as well as the chest up here, and then you just let it dry. And then once it's completely dry and you've done the process to every one of your pieces, happy reassembly and enjoy your custom. Thank you so much. If you like, leave a like, a comment, hit the bell to be notified of new content. And this is Optimus Prime 86 rolling out.